Okay, I had to start over here. The lost connection. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm using this video to give you guys an update on the third web page that I'm designing. It should be done tomorrow. Actually, I'll be hoping to put up the PayPal button tomorrow on it, so you folks can support me on this end. So the third page is going to do with crowdfunding. I never done this before, so this will be a new venture. And to build this Joepipe nano furnace, or I'm going to call it the ultra furnace, ultra like super furnace. And it's going to I'll be using the Joepipe technology along with ultrasonic technology from Sonotech out of New York. That's SONOTEK. If you guys want to check out Sonotech out of New York City. And they've recently, in the last year or so, perfected fuel injectors that they're actually making for the next generation of diesels. So I want to use this as the primary feed to break the ultrasonic fuel many times smaller using the heat of the Joepipe. The last couple of years, I haven't done any videos on YouTube. The Lord said it's not time, and I didn't stop the testing on the Joepipe gasification, all that. I continue that. Made a Joepipe furnace, more out of 2.5-inch ceramic pipe by 24 inches, and insulated it with refractory cement, and I placed 3 inches of ceramic wool around that. So it took about an hour to heat up, but I was able to thermally crack 1 liter of diesel per minute. And I didn't have an ultrasonic injector. What I used was one of those diesel pumps that you pump up to about 50 psi. And my tip was a point, I believe it was a 0.2 of a gallon tip. Now, I did try a 0.5, and but I got, it wasn't generating any black smoke, but you could tell it was getting into the a little bit rough. But on the 0.2 tip, adding extra air to the furnace, I was able to generate a flame out of a 2-inch orifice that was 1.5 feet wide by at least 6 feet long. You could feel the heat. I was standing way behind the furnace, and I could feel the heat. It was quite something to see. And at the time, I was demonstrating the Joepipe furnace to a group up in northern BC of their Russian German community, and they're very smart folks, and they were really taken back by the technology. I remember a year ago last summer, I was up there for my first time, and I was testing. Doing an Inconel test. I had some Inconel stock 1.25 by 12 inches, and I was doing the standard test. I had it some ceramic pads kind of put over, or like discs put over top of the Inconel pipe to hold the heat. And when you peeled back the layers to look inside, it was just nice, almost white, like an orange white. And the Inconel was able to get that hot without getting a whole bunch of crap on it, like you would see with steel, stainless steel, or even titanium. You get very heavy oxide, but the Inconel seemed to hold its own. But I have to laugh when I thought, well, I'm going to add some extra air to the Inconel. And I did that, and about 2 minutes later, the Inconel sheared off and dropped to the ground. And I only seen this happen one other time using titanium. And as the Joepipe does produce an implosion flame, a collapse of energy, adding the extra air speeded up the process, which compressed the fire so much that it turned the fire. It produced a electrical anomaly that sheared through that Inconel like it wasn't even there. Yeah, lots of witnesses there to prove it. So over the years, since 2007, I started putting YouTube videos about the Joepipe up on the internet. And I initially discovered it 3 years before in 2004. The Lord gave me a dream where I saw fire spinning inside of a pipe, and I knew intuitively, or by the Holy Spirit, that it had certain properties, certain sound properties. And that was in the spring of 2004. That same summer, I actually discovered it in Nanaimo, British Columbia. But getting back on topic here, I'm getting this page ready, so this is more of an introduction to the Ultra Furnace. And the Ultra Furnace incorporated with, it's going to use the Joepipe technology to thermally crack ultrasonic fuel. So that's where I'm coming from. And with having already messed around with the Joepipe furnace, I can remember, this is right in the middle of wintertime. I came back last January about this time, and I did a test up north. And, the garage is, they got central heating and water heating in the floor, but the air is still around maybe 50 degrees, so still a little bit cool. Anyway, I added too much air to the furnace, and I had a blowout. And inside the pipe, it's orange hot, just like a kiln. And so by the time I shut the diesel off, coming into the back, you had all this residual diesel inside, and within 30 seconds, it created a cloud, a diesel cloud, it was higher than the shop doors, maybe 12 feet up, and there must have been at least 2 feet thick, 2-foot cloud that filled up this 4,000 square foot shop. But it was so refined, and even in the cold conditions, even when they opened up the doors, that cloud didn't settle. And so this is, the diesel itself was refined. I don't know how many nanometers it would be. Maybe I'd guess down to about maybe, I don't know, below 100 nanometers, which would be 100 times more refined, or 1,000 times more refined than a diesel injector. So I know it works. So I got to understand the fuel and what it can do, and you just that diesel coming out, it was burning perfectly clean and almost producing a pure white light coming out. It was actually going into ultrasonics or infrared. Scary. So that's what I'm hoping to do with the Joepipe, to use it to create a new type of furnace. And I'm kind of, I've done all my life. I've been interested in high mileage engines. I studied basically all the different high mileage systems going back to the 1930s, especially the Pogue carburetor. And the Pogue carburetor back in 1938 on a 500 cubic inch Buick engine, he was able to get 200 miles per gallon back then. It shows you today how the oil companies are ripping us off. So it's payback time. It's time to make something that they're going to have to take notice of, something that can be put into the hands of the people. I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to come back, and I'm probably going to do 3 parts of this. There's Joshua Taylor coming to you from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island.